What's going on, everybody? Drive Time. Back at it again. So, I hadn't even planned to record anything today, but I hit a detour on my way home, so I got a little bit of extra time, and I was thinking about a conversation I was just recently having, overlap with some conversations I've had with people over the past, and there's this thing that a lot of people will say in current today, like social media and influencers and all that stuff, and they'll talk about men finding their purpose and being on your purpose and about your purpose and striving to achieve your purpose and all this stuff. But what I don't hear people talk a lot about is how you know what that is. I see a lot of people who think their goal or their destiny or their purpose or whatever is to do XYZ, but then you look at everything in their life, their upbringing, their surroundings, their exposure to things, and it doesn't line up. And so I'm doing this to kind of talk about how you figure out what that is. One of the things I learned very early on was work's not supposed to feel like work. And what that means is you don't want to be somebody that has to get up and dread going to work 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, 54 weeks a year for, I believe it's like 35, 40 years now or something like that, because it's gone up recently before you can like actually qualify for retirement, if it even exists by the time this generation gets to that point. It's not supposed to feel like work. It's not supposed to be this arduous thing you do. You're not supposed to dread it. A job is one thing. If you're just doing something to make ends meet, that's a job. Your career is supposed to be something that you happily and eagerly do on your days off, money or no money, because you enjoy it. And that's how I realized over time what things were meant for me to do and what things weren't meant for me to do. And a lot of people that tell you, oh, you're so good at it, oh, you're so good at this, you should be doing this, you're so good at this, you should be doing this. But it's like, you can be great at something, it doesn't mean that that's meant to be the thing that you want to do. Because if you don't enjoy it, it's not gonna work. You're not gonna be able to put the same drive and effort into it if you don't enjoy doing it. If you don't have a yearn and a desire to do it, I always tell people, measure what you look to do in your spare minutes. If you notice you got a gap in your day, what's the first thing you think of? Ooh, I want to get to this. If there's a thing that's like that, you should be trying to figure out how you can make money with that, regardless of what it is. That's why you have people like a Kai Cenat that can easily grind to the degree that he did, because he probably just enjoyed what he was doing. A grind doesn't feel like a grind when you're enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why you can have a Gordon Ramsay, because you can, if you watch any of his work, any of his shows, anything, he loves cooking. He loves it. So when he's doing it, it don't feel like work. It's just him doing the thing that he really, really likes. And I say that because I was always confronted with, oh, you should do this. You should go on this America's Got Talent. You should go on So You Think You Could Dance. You should do this. You should do... And I'm like, yeah, but I like dancing. I like it. Am I good at it? Yeah. Do I have titles and stuff? Yeah. Do I have accolades amongst the community? Yeah. Am I one of the most trained in some of the areas that I'm in? Yeah. But it wasn't something where... And it was at one point, when I was teaching the most, it was because I was every day going out to dance. Every day. people knew me as the guy in the clubs because I would find a club to go to every day. I knew all of them. I would go across town. I would jump the border, go to Canada. It didn't matter because I just wanted to dance. But when I saw that I was growing out of that, I had to figure out, okay, well, what else? Then I got to a point where I really loved to teach. I never left outside the venue of like dance and entertainment and stuff. I just transitioned to other things. I started to really love to teach, so I started to teach way more. And then the whole time I was working in and out of entertainment companies, and I started to notice within the past couple years that I've really loved the DJ side of it and working parties and stuff. And even then, the environment I'm in, a lot of people run their parties a certain way and they DJ a certain way, and I just noticed that their way of doing it did not work for me. But I started to find out that I had a different way of doing it that really worked for me, and I started noticing that I wanted to set my equipment up and just practice at home. I wanted to have another setup at work in my office to practice there when I wasn't busy. That's the stuff you have to look for. Like when you start seeing that, when you got an extra couple hours, you're trying to get back to this thing that you feel like is a hobby, or you feel like is a passion, or you feel like is a fun thing that you do, you need to start figuring out how to make money in that process, because that's generally going to mean that's what your purpose is. And then from there, you're going to have to expand to figure out how you blend all those things that you seem to just be naturally good at and comfortable doing, and merge it together into the things that you really, really enjoy and love doing. So for me, I knew from an early age that I was really comfortable speaking in public. It's never bothered me, despite the fact that I'm really an introvert. Speaking in public never bothered me. I was the master of ceremonies when I graduated from 8th grade. It's never bothered me to speak in front of crowds of people. It does to dance in front of crowds of people. So I knew how that worked. I knew that from an early age, I was very good and very comfortable with listening and having conversations with people. I knew from a very early age that I was really comfortable with music and the way music is structured. And throughout time, I've used all those things to carve out the avenues in which I wanted to take those things and make money from it. And I do. Most people don't know, but the people who do know me know I can make the average person's weekly paycheck in a day. Sometimes half a day. Just depends. So I say that to say, regardless of what it is, the thing I learned when I was a kid was you got to figure out what it is that you absolutely love to do, and you do not need to get paid for it when you do it. Find out a way to make money doing that, and then find out a way to make money doing it on a high-end market. That's it. And that way, work never feels like work. Your purpose begins to be realized. You start to make money. You start to be able to take care of yourself, and you're overall happy in your existence. You don't have to be miserable with work. You don't have to be miserable, in a job. Will you have to have jobs to make ends meet over time? Sure. But over time, you'll even find jobs that you can go to and be comfortable and enjoy. I have a part-time job that don't feel like work to me. And even in that, I worked with such a professional standard that I'm valued differently than I would be in many other jobs. So it carved out a very comfortable, structure for how my position aligns and my hours and stuff. So that's all. Like I said, I was in the car, so I had time, and I wanted to go over that because I know this is something that young men, especially in young people, look at and they are never really taught. So I'm hoping it strikes the right people. Don't hate going to work. Find something you love and find out how to get paid doing it.